Hello, my crafty friends. Today I'm sharing my card for the Fun Friday Challenge 154 at Your Next Stamp. And the challenge is all wrapped up. And they asked us to include a bow on our project. The new release at Your Next Stamp includes these cute bows, so I was off and running with that stamp set and I also used the dies. So my card today is a slimline, and folded my slimline is 3.5 by 8.5 inches, and it fits in a number 10 envelope. You can see that I used a piece of pattern paper on the envelope flap as well. I just used wet glue and adhered it, making sure that I got right to the edges and corners so it's not lifting and peeling as it goes through the mail. Back in the day, I used to decorate my envelope flaps all the time or do an envelope liner, and somewhere along the line I just stopped doing it. So you'll be seeing more of that from me. So my card today is a slimline, but it's actually a trifold, and I'll go into that shortly here. So to decorate this panel on my card front, I used the adorable Holiday Hugs. This buttons the mouse. I'm crazy about the images in that stamp set. It was also part of the November release at Your Next Stamp. I stamped it on white cardstock with Your Next Stamp's black olive ink and colored it with Copic markers, and just a little bit of Stickles glitter glue added to the bell and to the holly berries, and then some white gel pen accents. And it's probably hard to see in the video, but I like to go over the eyes and nose of my animals with a black glaze pen so they catch the light a little bit and it makes them nice and dark. This Hugs was also one of the new release dies, and it cuts with a single pass, so you get all of your letters with one pass through the machine, and I die cut it here out of more of the pattern paper. The pattern paper is a 12 by 12 pattern paper pad called Noel by Pink Paisley. I've had it for a couple of years in my stash, and when I got it out, I realized I hadn't even used it. So I picked a couple of patterns out of there, and that's what I used for my card today. I finished it off with some white gumdrops, and they're from the White Sugar and Sparkle Gumdrops set. And as I said, I used one of the cute bows and the dies. And the bow, I added some shading with a Copic marker. And then, again, it might be hard to see in the video, but I sprayed it with my shimmer spray. And then I die cut one of the pine tree branches from Your Next Stamp and cut it apart and added two little fronds in behind underneath my bow. So that was the front of my card. And you open it up, and this is where you see it's the trifold. Another piece of pattern paper there. And there's the inside. Now, I did decorate it a little more than I normally do, but I wanted everything on there, so we'll have to sign our name over here. This is another one of the cute button the mouse images from the Holiday Hug stamp set, and I stamped it with cranberry ink. But this is second generation stamping. So after inking, I stamped it on scrap paper and then stamped it again here. So I got a lighter impression. And really, we could sign our names over top because it's light enough, and especially if we used, say, a black pen, but I think we'll be writing it there. All I Want for Christmas this year is Hugs. That came included in the Holiday Hug set. I added another one of the bows from the cute bows. And then the pine tree branch. This is another pattern paper in the pad. It's a very vintage design. It's green and white, and the white areas of the design are glittered, and it's really not my style. But when I die cut the pine branch out of it, I absolutely loved it. I love that it looks kind of frosty and that there's a little bit of shimmer and shine on it. So I will be using that pattern paper to do more trees and branches, and I'll be able to use up that paper in the pad. So to make my slimline card, I cut the cardstock 8.5 by 8.5. So I had a square of cardstock, and then you score 3 inches from the left side and 2 inches from the right side, and that gives you your trifold card. Now you can do it in other orientations. You can decorate it like that. You can, I'm just turning it upside down to show, but you could have the narrow flap on the left. It doesn't have to be on the right. So there's a couple of different ways you can do this. I came up with this idea back in June, I believe, and I've been making a number of them. I really like them. This decorated panel here is 3 inches wide, and then you can make it as tall as you want. This one is 5 inches, but I've done them with a 7-inch height as well. It just depends on what element you want to feature on the front. So lots of sparkle in my card today, and It will fit, as I said, in this business envelope, and the bows are on with foam tape, which has lots of give, and so this card will mail for a single stamp. If you enjoyed my card today, please give my video a thumbs up and subscribe to see more of my cards. And that's it for me today.